Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Monday, March 19th, 2018. Beautiful, beautiful day again. Temperature-wise, not so much. 30 degrees for the high today. But sunshine has been out, not a cloud in the sky, which is freaking gorgeous. And there's the sun up there, shining down at us all. So anyway. A couple things I want to talk about real quick, but then we'll get into the gist of my video here. Solar's doing okay today. We ended up bringing like 3.5 kilowatt hours yesterday, and today we've brought in, and it's weird too because it's been sunshiny today, so I don't know why, but we brought in 2.7 so far, and it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. We'll still get over 3 kilowatt hours. Basically, today will make 4 of the last, well, no, it was 4 one day. This will be the 4th day in a row we haven't used a generator at all. Then we had 3 days before that. So 7 of the last 8 days we haven't had to use a generator at all in March. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, and once we get everything up and then get the other 900 watts hooked in as well, it's going to be even that much better. Okay, so I had made a statement that I'm trying to wean the generator out altogether, and somebody had said, oh well, you can't get rid of the generator, you're going to need that as backup and stuff like that. And they're absolutely right. I'm not trying to, what I'm trying to do is get to a point where even in the wintertime that I don't have to use a generator if I don't want to. That's my goal. Okay, I want to have enough solar up that in the wintertime, I mean, what I have right now would be fine all summer long. I'd have no issues all summer long. But you get into fall and into winter, that's where you have the problem. You don't have enough panels up, you're not bringing in enough power, and that's where you have your issues. Okay, so I'm trying to get it so we have enough solar that I don't have to use a generator at all except for a backup. Now, they also made a comment, this person did, that, well, you still need the generator to run power tools and stuff like that. Actually, I don't, because I've used power tools right on my system, and I've had no problem using power tools with my solar system. So just wanted to clear those things up real quick. But the ultimate goal, like I said, was to use the generator less and less and less every year. And realistically, that's exactly what we've done. Now, am I done with my system? No, I'm not. I'm probably going to look at going to at least 6,000 watts with my solar system. That's the ultimate plan. Once I hook in the other 900 watts this year, we'll be at 4,020 watts. Because right now, what I have up is 3,120. So once we put in the other 900 watts that I have there up, it's going to make a difference. Now, the other thing that's going to make a difference is, because where I'm getting hurt right now, is these panels, because of those ones here, it's shading that, which is cutting off, it's reducing my production on these panels, okay? So, like I said, once we put it up into a solar rack and get it up there, I think our production is going to skyrocket. And like I said, we'll have the other 300 or 900 watts going up as well, and that's going to make a huge difference. It's going to take us much further into the fall without having to use the generator as much, okay? Now, one thing I'm lacking on, and my one buddy busts my chops about all the time, is, and I haven't done it yet and I need to do it, is hook it in so that when I'm running the generator, I'm charging my batteries. I have the system to be able to do that with my Ames inverter. I could easily do that, and I still have not done it yet. So that's on me. That's my procrastination on my part. So that's my fault, because I could run the generator for like a couple hours, top the batteries off, and then run on the batteries for a while. So like I said, that's on me. That's my fault 100%, and I just haven't done it yet. No excuses, okay? So I wanted to get into today's video. So thank you for listening to the first part of this. Oh, I got it. One other thing I want to say real quick before we get into the gist of the video. I had a lady tell me that she lives way up in Canada, and that she cleaned out an area and she put up a greenhouse. There's no excuse why I don't get out here, clean out snow off of an area, and get to work. Now, my reply to that's going to be, I would love to see the video of you doing that. Please show me the video how you're doing that up to where you are in Canada and getting that work done. I would really like to see that, because I would be impressed. If you're out there digging out the snow to put up your greenhouse or whatever you're doing, please show me. That's all. That's all I'm going to say about that. So anyway, let's get into the video. Today I wanted to talk about when S.H.T.F happens, how will the non-prepared react? Okay, so let's talk about that. Here's my take on it, and you guys can jump in and give me your feedback, and I definitely want to hear your feedback, okay? I believe that once an S.H.T.F event happens, and let's say it's countrywide or globally wide, okay, some major thing happens. I think for the most part, in the beginning, the unprepared will basically be sitting around, and this is where I've talked about that 72-hour window before. I believe you have a 72-hour window to get to where you need to be. Now, if you can do it within 24 hours, that's better, okay? But I believe for the first 72 hours that most people, especially the unprepared that have done no prepping, have no idea what to do, how to do it, or anything, are going to be sitting around in shock, waiting for the government to come in and save the day. That's, I think, is the initial reaction to a lot of non-preppers, okay? A lot of people that do not prepare, a lot of people that aren't aware of what's going on and aren't ready, okay? The majority of those people will sit on their hands waiting for the government to come in and save the day. Now, I think once we get to about the third day, 72 hours, then they're going to realize that the government is not coming in to save the day, and as their food that they have in their house is winding down and they don't have that food and they're not prepared, and they're like, if it depending again on the time of year, if it's summertime, the heat down in the south is going to kill people like crazy. If it's wintertime, the cold up here in the north is going to kill people like crazy, okay? Because they don't have a way to heat their home and those type of things. They're going to freeze to death in their own homes. So after that first initial 72 hours, I think then people are really going to start to panic, and that's when it really is going to get dangerous. Now, don't get me wrong; it could still be dangerous in that first 72 hours. I know, and I've had people say a lot that as a prepper, and because I put myself out here on YouTube, that I'm a major target. Okay, and me and just 5 well-armed, men could come up there and take your stuff. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm just going to put that like that. I don't show everything on my channel. I'm not going to show you, what I have decided to do militarily wise or defensive wise in preparation to protect what I have and those type of things. That I'm not going to share on YouTube, okay? So, you're not going to see those type of things. But let's just say it probably really would not be a good idea to attack. I don't think it would be a good idea to attack anybody that's a prepper, because I think anybody that is smart enough to prepare ahead of time, that they will be ready for those contingencies. Anybody that preps, I believe, is ready to do what is necessary. And here's the thing, and it's like the guy that had said this comment about, me and 5 well-armed men, we could, ex-military, I think he said, me and 5 militarily trained men, we could come up there and we could take all your stuff. Now, here's the thing is, if you and 5 well-trained military men, you're probably prepping yourself. So you're probably putting things in place to prepare yourselves, not just to go to try to raid people and possibly risk your life. That would be stupid, okay? That's just my opinion on that. Now, then I've had the other contingency that says, well, what are you going to do when the millions of people come rolling out of the cities and just steamroll across the countryside? Well, let's talk about that a second too, okay? The millions of people coming out of the cities, first of all, disease, sickness, poor health, obesity, all those things are going to take a toll on people in a hurry, okay? The fact that a lot of people are going to die from lead poisoning, because as they go from town to town trying to take the supplies and take what people have. Hold on one second, guys. I don't know who that is. Anyway, I can go to voicemail. But those people that have that type of situation, okay, their numbers by the time that they got out this far into the country, number one, would be greatly reduced. That would be number one. So there wouldn't be millions of people by that point. Now, don't get me wrong. There will still be roving bands of people trying to take people's stuff. Again, this is my opinion, okay? I'm just making my opinion. I moved out of suburbia because I knew suburbia wasn't safe. When they roll out of the cities, the first thing they're going to do is hit suburbia. There are people in suburbia that are armed, that are ready to defend what they have. So those numbers of the marauders, if you will be greatly reduced in a hurry, okay? If you think you're a tough guy gangbanger from the city, you know, it's a whole different ball game once you get out into the country and into the woods. And again, depending on the time of year, that's going to be a factor as well. Okay, so I put myself in a position where I think that I have the best chance of survival. Okay, I believe that, and again, this is strictly my opinion. I think that the people up in this area will band together and work together. I really truly believe that. Okay, so that being said, after the initial panic that people have, the non-prepared, then they're going to panic, and then they're going to start looking for supplies and stuff like that. And the scenarios that I just laid out, I think is exactly what will happen. You're going to talk, if you're drinking unclean water, diarrhea is going to kill a lot of people. If you are not, you see, and that's why it's so important to be prepared. That's why it's so important to have a group of people, like-minded people, getting together now, getting ready. That's your best chance for survival. If you have, like I said, if I have 20 well-armed people up here, let's just say I have 20 people. It doesn't have to all be men. I mean, it can be women. Women know how to shoot and to defend themselves as well. But if I have 20 well-armed people up here, we can hold off quite a large number of people, okay? And here's the thing. A band of people that are looking for those easy pickings, if they start taking heavy casualties in one area, they're not going to say, hey, well, they got to have a lot of stuff. We're going to keep doing it. No, they're going to move on to easier pickings. That's what they're going to look for. They're looking for soft targets, easy targets. And will eventually, maybe a strong group look to come in and work on you and try to take you out? Sure. But hopefully, in the meantime, you have put in proper defenses. You have the right people, and you've added more people to your group. And that's going to happen too. So there's a lot of it that goes into it. But if you have people that are completely unprepared, there's going to be panic and chaos and not knowing what to do and you know, with no skill sets in advance. That's why it's important to prepare, be ready, practice now, know what to do, how to do stuff, how to make that fire, how to purify water. I mean, you know, you could purify water with gravel, sand, and charcoal. And you can purify water so that it's, you know, you can purify it that way and then you boil it afterwards. There you got clean drinking water. Those are things that are going to have to happen. You see that mud puddle, and if you're dying of thirst, a lot of people are just going to go ahead and drink that up, okay? It's just not the way to do it. You prepare, like I said, somebody had sent me a couple of life straws, which was absolutely awesome. And that was probably one of the best gifts that I've got in a while. And I get a lot of gifts, and I appreciate what people, you know, are thinking of us and stuff like that. But I'm going to put one of those life straws that's going to stay in my vehicle at all times, because if I'm out on the road someplace and I got to try to get back home, you know, because that's a possibility too, guys. You know, you might not be home when S.H.T.F happens, but if that's the case, you know, I have that so that I can purify any kind of water that I need to have. That's really, really important. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be the biggest killer. Diarrhea is going to kill people by the millions, okay? Unsafe drinking water, people are going to drink it, they're going to get sick, and they're going to die because they're going to have diarrhea, they're going to have no way to stop it, and, you know, it's going to be a big, big killer. And, you know, in unclean situations and, you know, unsanitary situations. Those are going to be big, big killers. So, I mean, personally, if S.H.T.F were to happen, I hope it's in the wintertime up here in the Northeast. I'll be honest with you. I really, truly hope that it would be in the wintertime, because if I'm ready for winter, I'm going to be fine right straight through the winter into the spring, and we'll be good to go. By the time the spring rolled around, the numbers would be so greatly reduced, it would be incredible, okay? That's just my thought on that. And that's why people will say to me, oh my God, why do you live there? I live here because strategically, depending on the time of year that S.H.T.F happens, this is a good place to be. It really, truly is. So anyway, I definitely want your feedback on this video. I want to hear what your thoughts are, what you guys think, because I'm very curious to see what you have to say. Okay? So what do you think? How do you think that non-prepared people are going to act? You know, and what do you think that they're going to be able to do realistically? Okay? Like I said, I'm just sharing my thoughts. Do I feel like that I will be possibly attacked? Absolutely. But we will be ready for what we need to do at that point. Okay? So anyway, guys, I will talk to you all tomorrow. I hope everybody's having a great week, the start of your week, since it's Monday. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.